Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome to episode 6 of my Total War Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera Sulla campaign on the Mithridatic Wars scenario. We're still continuing to try and find Marius for what he did to Sulla. Because in the previous episodes, Sulla unfortunately died in the Battle of Massalia. Now Lepidus rules Sulla's Roman faction. So, still a lot of Iberia, a little bit of southern France as well we're going to have to deal with. So, we're at a bit of a time of peace. We're rebuilding back up, ready to go to war once again with Marius. Now, there was an Illyrian pirate tribe that took some territory from me. And it was quite bad, actually. They managed to spawn 2 full stacks. So, we've actually got an opportunity here. For some reason, I think they must have a co-war target set, but I never called it, on the Numidians. So, for some reason, they sailed out into the open water here. And we're going to use this as an opportunity to sink the fleet. We're going to be able to get Pompey Magnus here to destroy 1 full stack. And then, if he's got enough movement range, we might be able to hit the other as well. And then hopefully all of Illyria will be firmly back in our control. Marius was somewhat sympathetic to Sulla's death and allowed a peace treaty to go on for a fair few years, which is going to allow us to obviously rebuild up, get into a better position to finish the Civil War. So unfortunately we didn't have enough movement to run down the last naval unit here, but Pompey at the top of the next turn is going to have enough to sink it. And I feel a little bit bad for these Illyrian pirates. They rebelled. They essentially wanted to be a regional autonomous state in the Roman, I'm going to say republic, but it's more of an empire now. Lepidus is ruling as a dictator, essentially. A Roman figure. Okay, he's essentially the emperor figurehead. That's what we're sort of role-playing as. If you want to get technical, we haven't switched over to a republic to an empire just yet, but I actually think the Republic bonuses are actually better. Changing to an empire is quite expensive and does have a lot of political upheaval. Because here is the family tree. Scapula. And a couple of others. I wish a little bit earlier on I should have brought them in, but it's a little bit too late. I will send you to try and get some good relations with Marius at least. Trade agreement with Pontus broken. That's unfortunate. We've actually had some sort of decent relations with them. Edict cancelled. Oh, okay. We've had a minor civil war. What's this? Senate secessionists. Okay. Well, that's annoying. We're going to have to deal with them. Oh, because trade was coming out of this. Oh, I did not expect that whatsoever. Is that because of my act of treachery I just did? Potentially. I am untrustworthy, which is understandable. But we've got our own civil war. So, 56. It was only a matter of time that was going to happen at some point into the campaign. Alright. So we've had a small fracturing. I'm surprised Pompey nor Crassus were one of the two. Alright, we should be able to deal with this. We do have an army in the vicinity. Thankfully, none of the legions were stolen, because that can happen sometimes. Alright, let's send Pompey to Apollonia to put down this rebellion. And let's get some legionaries on the border. And let's repair the settlement there. Now, Scapula was going to Cisalpine Gaul, because we are putting down the plans and preparations to eventually go to war. We've currently got, what, 3.5 stacks? which is nothing too crazy. Marius probably still has more legions, which is quite a bit, but Macedonia rebelled. There's even like a rebellion in the north of Dacia there. It's a little bit south of what Dacia is. It's just like right on the Danube there. It's more in the Balkans. Okay, well we might look to do that. We still have an uneasy peace, and here are the other political factions. That's annoying that that's happened. Oh, okay. One of the Celtic tribes in, what was Thrace has declared war. That's annoying because, that could be really, really costly. If they somehow take Pella, we might be going to war against the barbarians in the Balkans. But we'll see if we're quick enough. Oh no! This is really throwing a spanner in the works for this campaign. Okay. Now thankfully, the auto-resolve is in our favour, as we put down some minor secessionists that are not happy with dictator Marcus Lepidus's rule. I kind of would have preferred Crassus as dictator. I think I would have liked that. And then have like Pompey go after him. Okay, so at the moment, we're pretty stable everywhere else. Switching over most of the culture to Latin. We've got food. In surplus, sanitation. Supply pits in certain key strategic areas as well. We're in a really good position. I should switch that eventually. I think it was switched. It shouldn't have been that. And then we'll try and take Pella and Larissa. Pella, a massive trading hub. And obviously, Larissa, a food hub. We desperately need a retake. Okay, there's a small army here, but it doesn't seem to be too serious, this rebellion. We'll give chase. And we'll run them down. There might be a legion hanging out in the fog of war. If not, this rebellion is nowhere near as serious as what I anticipated. It's more of a hindrance and potentially a stumbling block. Yeah, so there's a rebel territory in Thrace that we can potentially take with impunity. Bithynia has finally fallen. Oh, that might change things in Anatolia, as there's a bit of a power shift there. Oh, wow. Right on the border. That might be an issue if we had Constantinople, Istanbul, under our control, which we don't. We still have a little bit of territory in what is Pergamon. Oh, these auto-resolves seem to be very much in our favour. Thankfully. Okay. Thought these two settlements would have been a little bit complicated, but we're okay. Pella is going to be the real task. So we're going to get Scapula, Lepidus's son-in-law. He's going to go north. And then we'll get his other son-in-law to pinch her from the south. We're going to try and pinch up Pella now. And we'll see how the battle goes. If it's not in our favour, we'll fight it. So we'll move in one army. Oh wow, even one army. I think the garrisons are just terrible here in Greece. To be fair, I probably wasn't prioritising them. Oh god. Alright, let's move Scapula in. Nice. Not even a full stack either, just garrisons galore. Now, with this, we should be able to put down this rebellion. Nice. Senate secessionists defeated. That could have been far, far worse than what it could have been. Oh, but Crassus has left my faction and made the Equite faction. Oh, okay. Well, we might be ruining the consequences of this. I am seriously happy that no barbarian faction took Pella, because if they did that, we'd have to conquer them, and it might anger more of their allied / sympathetic tribes. They want trade again. Oh, right, because we've retaken Pella. That's why. I thought we had trade with them. We're probably going to be able to get a serious amount of money. Yeah, because the AI loves trade with Rome. Okay, well, now with the secessionist rebellion well and truly done with, Crassus is going to try and rebuild his army in North Africa, and just seeing where Marius's forces are. So he does have as a general there, he does have a lot of naval units hanging out in the Mediterranean. That's something we need to keep an eye on. Lepidus is currently at Genoa/Liguria. Scapula can now probably make a play for this piece of territory. Yeah, so they're at war with everyone because it's just rebelled. We still have an uneasy peace with Marius, and we might need to break it soon. We've obviously got some client states near the Germantians. So, oh wow, look at that. I was like, this might be an interesting battle, because we haven't really fought barbarians in this series just yet. But, thankfully, due to a food supply issue, they seem to be incredibly depleted. But this might complicate things. Or it might not. We're creating a bit of a buffer zone here. We're going to be able to get lead, which is kind of huge. So we bought a Thrace and some other barbarians. Interesting. Okay, skipping a little bit ahead now. 78 BC. We're moving my spy to gain some intelligence. So they have 2 territories in the south. Still got a bunch of dignitaries now deployed. Pompey has a full fleet in Syracuse. We managed to stabilize the newly conquered territory. And we're currently moving back Scapula to Cisalpine Gaul. We've also got another army moving to Genoa. We're probably going to launch a 3-legion strong attack into southern France to retake it. We want to try and get vengeance for Sulla, who was slain upon the fields of Massalia. Crassus has an army in North Africa. If we get a secondary one, that would be good. Hopefully we can declare war upon Marius and not deal with the Numidians. We also could deal with another fleet. So we're going to get one in Taurus, and we're going to invest some of our money into constructing one. Although Pompey is quite a strong and overpowered naval commander in his own right, only one full stack with him seriously isn't enough. Alright, I was reading some comments the other day. The best way to... It was on the topic of best way to get characters into your faction. Obviously, it's been a while since I've played DEI, so I kind of forgot that you have to entice characters into your other nobles section, and then from there you can adopt them into your family. It's a little bit different from Attila, because in like Attila, from like this section, you can just adopt characters right in. So, what we're going to try and do... Well, it's going to be a little bit difficult now that the wives of Pompey, Crassus, and the others are technically in their other faction, so I don't know if they can still be declared as heir and whatnot. So it's still probably not a bad idea to bring them in. Like, maybe if there were minor characters, not the head of the faction, it would have worked. For example, we might have had a chance, like whoever, if, let's say Pompey's the head of the faction, if Crassus was an underling, we might have been able to bring Crassus into our family tree. Because we did marry them off quite a while ago. Yeah, so it's actually split it here. So he's not a part of that. However, the future children could potentially be. So this is a way for us to consolidate and solidify our family power structure slightly, which we'll do. If I knew this at the start of the campaign, or remembered to do it a fair few turns in, we could have changed things, but it's not overly too difficult or dramatic. My concern is for us not to have another severe secessionist civil war, particularly if we're on a full-scale conflict against Marius. Or hey, maybe we're going to be facing Pontus soon. Thankfully, we've been actually quite amicable between Mithridates, which is surprising. Maybe they're okay with me hunting down Marius, and now that ultimately Sulla lies dead in the Massalian dirt, unfortunately. So we're trying to secure some promotions, potentially in the future. as well. Alrighty. Well, I think the time is nigh. We should be ready to strike. Unfortunately, the Numidians actually took a piece of Gamantian territory, which is annoying. They are at war with quite a few factions, which is surprising. So we still have trade. So we'll say, hey, Pontus, would you be interested in me joining your war? And we'll try and get some relations. Because they border us from two sides there in Asia Minor. Like, it's going to get to a point that they're not going to be able to expand any further west through my former vassals. Unless they attack me. And already that makes it a neutral offering. A little bit overpowered. You nearly should always look to never outright declare war upon someone. You can avert their vassals/alliances. And you also can gain some decent relations. But once again, Sulla's Roman faction is about to go to war with Marius. Crassus has mobilized a legion. He has been tasked with trying to take North Africa in its entirety. A small army there is run back. We won't need to worry about that. We might even be able to push against the rest. We've got a secondary legion being constructed here in Carthage, but it will take some time before those units are recruited and are fully operational. Now, over the last couple of turns, there has been a significant amount of Marius fleets and armies sailing about the Mediterranean and surrounding seas. So I was actually trying to push it to North Africa, but we found one there. We might be able to strike that. So we'll swing Pompey in. Okay, we are favoured to win. Oh, it's a naval battle. Pretty decent one. Gnaeus Carbo as well. Oh, he's a naval commander, Carbo? Interesting. I'm going to auto-resolve this one. I don't, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I actually don't really enjoy naval battles too much. Shogun 2 naval battles, like, or Empire, I don't really mind. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever been much of a fan. Particularly in DEI. Like, we don't really, I like it if there's, like, artillery, but most of that is, infantry. Maybe it's because I'm not really good at it either. I play a lot of Total War Z. Naval battles are turned off, so I don't tend to bother. Okay, this one's a bit better because it's a army rather than a navy. So we'll try and sink this one, and we're going to be able to destroy our first Marius Legion in this new spring offensive in 78 BC. Perfect. And we'll move you back to be housed and based in Sicily. So 2 full navies in operation. Greece is fine now. Oh, Marius is actually sending... Pontus is actually sending troops against Marius. We have Metellus there in the north garrisoning. Because in that Balkan territory... We've just had problems in Greece. Always is. Fighting in and around there. But Lepidus, with 3 full legions, is going to throw everybody into Massalia. Let's move you there. And we'll move everyone in to be drawn in. And then hopefully we can have a massive, over-resounding result. And Massalia will be liberated. Well, the people that are loyal to Sulla are in there. And we might even erect a statue of the former dictator who laid down his life for Rome. Are we the bad guys? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's move my spy further south as we go into Iberia. Okay, so now that we have Massalia under our control, we're actually going to be able to open up some land trade lanes between myself and the various Gallic tribes. The Aedui, I'm sure they hate Gaius Julius Caesar. He's here at some point in the Roman faction, or Marius's faction, that is. Try and get trade with them. Alright. SPQY. I actually think that that is called Lepidus, isn't it? Lepsis? Is it in, it might be in the Imperator Augustus DLC. I can't even remember. Oh, damn. Okay. That auto-resolve is not very much in our favour. That's annoying. We could wait for the Gamantians to come on in, but I don't think they're going to come. What we'll do is we'll send a rider to Carthage. And Crassus is going to inform Pompey that he needs naval assistance. Pompey has received the message, is now sailing down to North Africa. And nice. Yeah, it's the Navy there. Pretty decent Stark General as well. So, a lot has happened in today's episode on the campaign map. A lot of shifts and territorial gains. But hopefully now that we have 4 full legions, focusing purely on Marius and the last of his faction should be enough. But to be fair, he's got a lot of Iberia. He's got a decent amount of territory. And also, we can't forget about the Numidian threat. Unfortunately, our navy is taking an absolute battering in destroying their positions. But we need to do it because even if we do take high naval losses, we are negating them from taking our settlements with impunity. And we'll move back there and replenish and repair. Okay, so let's continue on the offensive. And let's take Narbo. And then we should be able to trade with the Celtic tribes there in Tolosa. And we're just flying on in like a maelstrom, like a force of nature. 10,000 Romans surge into southern France. Now, thankfully, it's mostly Latin culture, so we're not going to have to convert it. But now we're going to be able to hopefully open up the Iberian offensive. Yeah, look at this. Pontus are really, really happy with me. Interesting. They also have a lot of the Levant as well. They're threatening Egypt and Nabatea, which is interesting. Armenia is quite huge as well. Oh, we've actually... Oh, we found Egypt. Okay. Yeah, because Cyrenaica's... Because they're fighting Marius as well. Well, maybe we'll trade with them. But yeah, also in the Mithridatic Wars mod, I would recommend trying to make peace with Marius and major factions ever so often, because war weariness can be a bit of an issue. Not in the mechanical sense, but just needing to rebuild your forces and need to go into a state of peace just to replenish and repair, because it is quite costly anytime you lose units in DEI. Oh, that's Marius. Oh, we've got to play this one. Oh, wow, I didn't fully comprehend this. Why is he here? Crassus has somehow found Gaius Marius in North Africa. Oh, it's because when we attacked that army beforehand, it ran back. I never got to see the icon. Oh, yeah, there he is. The most wanted man in the Roman Republic. Gaius Marius. We're coming for you. Okay. I wonder if we get rid of him, would they be interested in peace, like the faction, just to confederate and just bring everyone in? We have managed to eliminate some of his most top generals and officials. But you'd think they'd be like, hey, Marius' cause is done. Well, maybe not. If Gaius Julius Caesar's about, ironically, fighting for a free and independent republic away from dictators. This alternative timeline is kind of wild. Okay, so not going to be the most overly complicated battle, as Marius looks like he's deploying mostly African conscripts. Or Numidians. Okay, here he is. If we can try and pincer him, we want to try and bring him down. Just give out some attack orders. You're annoying, so let's suppress that advice. Alright, let's go. Crassus has been tasked to bringing Gaius Marius to justice. Dead or alive is the bounty. Crassus to take out Marius. That's hilariously interesting. Oh my god, what a venomous volley there. Surely he's been taken out by the Legionaries Peeler. Oh wow, look at that. Absolutely decimating his Royal Guard. Oh wow. The thing is, we haven't even seen Marius once in this entire campaign. What are we, 50, 60 turns into this? Maybe even longer, I can't remember. But this war has been going on for quite some time. I kind of forgot how long DEI is to take and play episodes with it, but when I get that DEI itch that I can sit down and play hours upon hours in a week to play, I love it. Because, like, normally for me, if I do an hour-long episode, I've probably recorded for like 2 or 3 and I've cut it down a bit. Probably about to wrap things up here, though. Nice, glorious victory. Because even the loading screen can be quite long. Like, I would have cut most of that loading time. But like a 25-minute video, I probably recorded for an hour. The thing is as well, like, I don't know if you find it that interesting, because sometimes it takes like, so, for example, Scapula moving from Greece to Cisalpine Gaul, that's going to take 5-6 turns, maybe. And then I'm just doing some micro and stuff, and nothing usually happens. So that can go on for like 15 minutes, and that adds up quite a bit. So there's no point of watching that. I do try to edit my campaigns to some extent, so it's at least a little bit palatable. There's no sort of dead air spots. Yep, so there's a new faction leader. I don't think it's Gaius Julius. That doesn't look like him. He's got a custom face in this mod, from what I remember. But, yeah, that is pretty much it from me. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for episode 7 coming out soon. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And if you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been Simpsy, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.